Na 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 na. Guys, the iconic tune is back. The iconic show is back. The iconic host is back. Yes, I'm talking about Coffee with Karan Season 7. Woohoo! I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am. I am a sucker for this show. It's lighthearted, it's gossipy, sometimes serious, a lot of times scandalous, and just a lot of fun. Oh, and wait, I have my coffee with me. Look, guys. Not a day over fabulous, of course. And for the fabulous Karan Johar, this was only apt. Hey, girl, hey! Cheers!
How are you today?
I am amazing. How are you?
I am just so excited for this. It is.
I have been waiting and waiting and waiting for this season to come. I am so glad it's here. And girl, first season,
get into it.
Two guests were epic. Ranveer Singh and Alia Bhatt. I don't think you could have a more epic Geordie than this to start the show. And hello, they are also coming in a movie together, so I guess that's why they're here. Rocky and Rani Ki Prem Kahani, directed by Karan Johar. So obviously he's gonna bring them in. And I just felt like, what a duo.
I absolutely love seeing Ranveer and Alia together, especially with Karan Johar. It's just, cherry on the top. They looked fabulous. It was totally a fashion.
Yes, girl. Before the fashion, let's get to the walk. That intro, I love how over the top this season is. I love the over the top intro, the red carpet, the cameras, the paparazzi, the face, the mugging. I love it. I love it. I love it. It is pure Karan Johar style. And then you get into the set, and this set is like retro cinema vibes going on.
I literally had to actually slow down the video while I was watching the episode to see the people behind this whole, episode. Like, they really did an amazing job. Exactly. And I should say Alia Bhatt Kapoor.
Yeah.
Her dress up. Oh my god, her dress is beautiful. And I noticed that you're also wearing the color combination.
Yes, I love red and pink together. And then she wore red and pink. And I was like, okay, I got my wardrobe situated. Okay, I think red and pink are fabulous together. I felt like Alia Bhatt looked amazing. And she has like a grown-up thing about her now, maybe because she's married. She's still bubbly, she's still fun, but she has this like maturity about her. The way she carried herself in that dress. I love the neckline. I love the sleeves. Those stilettos were killer. I just love the whole look. And I love how, her dress, that print was a little over the top. So her makeup was so natural and muted. I loved her look.
She has evolved into such a intelligent young woman.
Yes.
And even in her acting, like, she has just got better and better and better. Like, yeah. I'll be honest, I wasn't really a huge fan when I saw her first. When I started watching her, pictures, I was like, yeah, just another, girl from the movie family, and she's just gonna be there. But she has gotten better every.
Let me just take a few and talk about Karan Johar. It's his show, and then they'll get to Ranveer's fashion. I feel like Karan Johar was on top of his game. Okay, not a lot of guys can wear a full-on red suit, like solid red, and a red shirt underneath. Okay, I personally might not want my man wearing that, but I feel like for Karan Johar, that's him. He's into this oversized look these days, and those sneakers he was wearing, the way he was sitting with those sneakers, I just feel like he was very confident. And if he's confident, who the hell are we to say, why are you looking like a juicy red tomato, like Ranveer called him? I think that was hilarious. He said, "You're looking like a juicy tomato, so squeezable."
And you know what? He had a self booster because Ranveer Singh was there, and he knew that he has a competition in his episode to kind of, and they did talk about that as well. That how like they don't care.
They don't care.
They don't care what people say. They just do what they feel like.
And they shouldn't care. Ranveer Singh is, I think, the poster child of maybe over the top fashion, but I feel like it fits his personality. He's out there, and you can only wear these kind of clothes if you're confident with yourself. You don't care about what other people think, what other people say. It's all about you. And I love that quote, actually. But before we get to that, I just want to talk about it. Star printed suit with the wide black lapels, and then you have that silk shirt underneath that's unbuttoned almost down to his navel, and then he's like shimmering with that highlighter going on. I was like, go Ranveer Singh. And then his hair is coming out.
I was going to say that.
Yes.
The hair. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yes. Yeah. He has this style, like I said, he always has some kind of theme, and I'm just guessing here because it was a retro vibe of the set. He went retro, and she went with her pink and red. I feel like they got the assignment. They knew it's Karan Johar's show, kind of over the top. The show is all about that. So why not come out with over the top clothing? And I think they nailed it. So these are his exact words, and I love it. He said, "I don't fear being judged for how I look or what I wear. I just express myself freely." That's the thing, freely. He goes, "I'm liberated from being judged. I dress for myself and I feel good." And I feel like all should be like that.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Like, I feel like that is something that everyone needs these days because we are too much into being judged, or we're worried if we'll get judged if we wear this or that. You just do whatever makes you feel happy.
Self-love, self-confidence, not caring about what the naysayers say, not giving power to haters or trollers. And I love how they hinted at this. Ranveer, he came with a bang. He had energy, but he was also saying things. And I feel like him and Karan had a really great conversation where they said, because we are laughing all the time, energetic, and have over-the-top clothes, people think we're frivolous. Yeah. But you peel back the layers, you get to know the person, and you realize there's way more depth there. I feel like you can see it when they talk. Like, Karan Johar is an intelligent man. He has a lot to say, but because he's Karan Johar on the dance shows, on this gossip show, and wearing these sequins, outfits, people think he doesn't know what he's doing. People forget how successful he is. He took his father's production house and made it into like this giant. So that shows intelligence. And same with Ranveer Singh. He came into the industry, he worked on his craft, and how like these performances he's given. So people think that, he's all about colors and he's hyper and he's like loud and over the top. They're like, no, there's a sensitive and emotional person there. And we see that side come out, especially when he's with his wife or he talks about his wife. You understand that he is a people person. I love it.
Exactly. And I love that you brought that up because guess who he's married to? Deepika Padukone. And even in the episode, they talked about how serious her family is. And, and we have to understand that if he's surviving for 10 years, it is for a reason because he is sensitive. He knows what to talk about. He just likes to enjoy his life. That's all. And there's nothing bad in that.
I feel like Karan Johar brought out a lot of cool topics, like this marriage topic he brought up with both Ranveer and Alia. With Ranveer, he did ask, like, look, you have this outgoing persona, you're over the top, and then you have Deepika and her family who are reserved and quiet and calm. Like, how does this go? Because they are yin and yang. And he's like, look, I've been in a relationship with Deepika forever and it's worked. So obviously this persona we see is not him. This is for the public. And at home, he is someone else. And he also talked about, yes, it took some adjustment. Yes, their home has white shirts and blue jeans for me to wear, but that's okay because, it is compromise. It's understanding their point of view and them understanding his point of view. And I feel like that's what every successful relationship or marriage is. You have to be able to give and take from both sides. So I think that shows a maturity in him.
Exactly. And the fact that, again, going back to the same point, that this episode was just not about, talking about movies, talking about their colleagues. It was so much more than that. It was being an actor, getting involved with that, and then, having a nice career, having a nice family background, their relationships and their friendship, their bond. They had this year, which honestly I was not expecting that.
The Sakhi, that really, I was like, wait, they're Sakhis, really? But before we get to Ranveer and Alia, let's talk about Ranveer and Alia really quick. Just like he asked about, obviously, Ranveer and Deepika's marriage and the adjustment, he also asked about the newlyweds, obviously. And the thing is, I love what she said. Because he said the Bhatts and the Kapoors are diametrically opposites. She even said we have a very small family. We don't celebrate all these functions and festivals with Dhoom Dhamaka. But the Kapoor family, they celebrate every tradition. They're big into puja part. They love their family. They're doing everything together. And she said that she loves that because this has added more layers to her personality. And she said it has given her a chance to learn about Indian traditions and culture, and she loves it. Ranveer, I had no idea how, she said he's a traditionalist. He loves puja part. He loves all of this. Karan Johar said at their wedding on the Fera, he was paying attention to every mantra the Pandit said. I was like, wow, you don't think like that, especially as, our generation and all of that. We don't really think about all of that. People think that we're too busy, everything is hawa mein. But when something as important as a wedding is going on, or a Diwali puja, like she mentioned, it's really cool to see that how he's really into it. So I love that.
100%. And the fact that, again, it was so nice to hear that if we get into a marriage, a lot of people out there are not ready for compromises. They're like, no, that's you know what I mean?
Yes.
But here, she said that, yes, adjustments did take place, but for a nicer way. She had that positive aspect to all these situations. Yes. And coming to Ranveer, I kind of knew that he's that type of guy because of his family, of course, their upbringing, how she also mentioned about Rishi Kapoor, late legend.
Yeah.
I was so happy to see how Alia has grown and evolved from her first episode of Koffee with Karan to season 7. This is a huge,
100%. 100%. And I also feel like, when she brought up Rishi Kapoor, she said the beginning of the pandemic was really tough because we were dealing with his passing and everything that happened. And their relationship kind of took the back burner, right? They knew they were going to get married, but this proposal thing wasn't in the horizon because they were going through so much. And I also love when Karan Johar asked her about the proposal, she kept it to the minimum. She didn't want to talk about her personal life. She didn't want to take... Yeah, I mean, it's okay. She shared that, we were on a safari. He had planned this proposal. He had one of the guides, had the camera set up. There were pictures and everything. But I'm glad she didn't talk so much about it. She gave the bare minimum details. Even that ring was amazing. Can I have that ring, please?
I know.
And I love how she said that because when he mentioned the engraving on the ring, she said it says Mr. or Mrs. Hipster on it, but she didn't explain what each of those words or letters meant. And I think that's amazing because some things are meant to be private. They're public personalities, but they have a private life and it should be kept private. So I really like that. I feel like the younger Alia Bhatt might have given all the details, but this older, mature Alia Bhatt, she's keeping it close to the vest.
Yes, 100% agreed. If the younger Alia would have definitely spilled the beans, she would have definitely told everything. Yeah. And that's what I mean. She has grown up. She has evolved into this young, intelligent lady. I have noticed in a bunch of her interviews, even small interactions with media, that she didn't give enough about any of the trolls that she has ever been into. She never... I remember one of her episodes in Koffee with Karan where they were talking about, comments on her Instagram page. And she was like, you know what? I don't even look at them because all it's going to be is troll.
So, exactly.
She doesn't care. And
she shouldn't care. She has so much going for her. Why pay attention to the naysayers?
Exactly.
And speaking of that, I feel like this connection between Ranveer and Alia is a revelation. Yuki, I knew they're all friendly, because there's this a complicated equation going on. Ranveer and Deepika have a history. They are still working together. They have amazing chemistry. But then you have their partners, Alia and Ranveer, right? They could be insecure. They could have every opportunity to be jealous because these are beautiful individuals, right? They're exes. But no, they have shown such maturity. They have such level of confidence and self-belief that they're like, no, that is their past and I am their future. And we are okay interacting. They are grown adults. And I love that because it's very easy to be like, nope, you cannot work with so-and-so. Nope, we are not having any interaction with so-and-so. I know you had a history. For goodness sake, Deepika had a tattoo, so like, it doesn't get more serious than that. But all of that being said, I love how positively Ranveer greets and talks about Ranveer, and then Alia talks about Deepika and Katrina, because these were significant relationships. And I just think that shows maturity and a lot of special care and handling, because it's a complicated mess. It can be a complicated mess.
Let's just think about it for a second. Like, oh my God, there are so many interconnections there.
Yeah, and I loved it. And this connection that we saw between Ranveer and Alia, they called each other a sakhi, so like best friend or girlfriend. I love that. And then it morphs into Pammi Auntie, which is Ranveer, because he loves the gossip. I love how she said during their wedding planning, he was looking at the kangan. He was interested in the jewelry. When she was having trouble with Gangubai, her movie with Sanjay Leela Bansali, she was so nervous about the Dhol Lida song that she called him up on the phone, like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? I can't do this. Like, what is going to happen? And then he shows up on set to give her that positivity, that energy. You only do that when you have a strong connect with someone. And then not only that, I love how she said that during the wedding prep, she was so tensed that she had some issues going on with one of her house managers. And, yeah. And that he showed so much interest in that. Like, are you guys okay? What was the issue? Like, here, sort it out. Go to her trailer. I love that.
Honestly, I would love to have a best friend like Ranveer Singh in my life. Like, hey guys, can you please, if there is someone interested, please hit me up. Okay, you know what?
Excuse me, I thought that was me. What the hell is happening right now?
Well, then we both gotta take some lessons from Ranveer Singh in this case.
Yes, I agree.
Let's skip to the mimicry. The talent that man holds in himself.
Oh my God. How talented is he? That Hrithik Roshan voice was spot on. Spot on. I was like, oh my God. Like, it felt like Hrithik was sitting there. And then you have Ajay Devgan's walk he did. I think that was hilarious. And then he did the Kartik Aryan, meets Pap, interaction. I thought that was also hilarious. And then, the most funny is Amir Khan PK impersonation.
I am glad we're on the same page. It was amazing. Wow. Hey, he walked in with that. Honestly, you know what?
Pillow. He had that cushion.
And I could see the purity of the relationship.
Yeah, that was so much fun. I loved it. That just, that's a lot of talent to be able to do that on the spot. It wasn't like he was rehearsing and then coming. It was literally, okay, do this, do this, do this, do this. And I was like, wow.
Thanks to Aditya Chopra for,
Thank you, Adi Chopra, for bringing this magnificent man into the industry.
To our lives. And then thanks to Sanjay Leela Bansali for giving him such an
Yes, Sanjay Leela Bansali. Those 3 movies made his career. So, Sophia, there was this new game, which I really liked. It was the coffee bingo round that they played. So they had this tablet or iPad, I don't know which one it was, the screen, and they had to go and circle around each category they had done. And it was so hilarious because it was simultaneous. Ranveer was checking his bingo boxes and Alia was checking hers. And then Karan, and Karan is like, okay, Ranveer, you've basically done the whole board. And Alia has 2 or 3 things. I was like, oh my God. I was like, that matches Ranveer for sure. He's all over the place. But I was surprised with Alia. I thought she would have more, but I guess not.
That's where we get to know that. She is Ranveer Singh's wife now for a reason, because there has to be some connectivity.
Some kind of balance.
Exactly.
I love how forthcoming he was about, oh my God, he was talking about his playlist when he's in the mood, depending on the type of mood he's in, there's a different playlist. I was like, okay, we're going there.
Next playlist, the classical music, and they tried to
the da da da.
And I'm like, okay, Ranveer.
I died. It was so funny. And then Karan Johar is like, I'm never gonna be able to listen to classical music in the same way. I love it. No, and then he also talked about, obviously the Vanity Van. He's gotten a little fun in there. He also talked about, okay, we'll talk about the Suhag Raat thing, because they said, oh, that's a myth. And, Alia Bhatt said, that's a myth. That doesn't happen. You're so tired. Yeah, in some cultures, there's jatere, so it just doesn't happen. And Ranveer was like, no, man, I was fine. No energy lacking, nothing. Like, Suhag Raat, here I come. I was like, I don't know if Deepika likes you talking about this, but it's hilarious.
You know what? She's married that man thinking about something, and I was so. I'm gonna just say it, but I was so happy that he's an ass man, that he just called himself
he's an ass man.
I was like, okay.
I love that. Oh, as far as Alia Bhatt's bingo card goes, can I just say, ew, I have never ever used my partner's toothbrush. Like, never. I just cannot. That's just disgusting to me. Like, germs, ew. Yep. Please keep your germs to your mouth, and I will keep my germs to my mouth. I'm not brushing with your toothbrush. That's not okay.
That was not required. That was disgusting. I didn't want it to hear that. I didn't want it to know any of that. Yes. But I'm glad that she was honest in that bingo. Yeah. Like, that was one of the honesty thing that I was like, okay, he's being honest.
And also, I totally related with that embarrassing email ID. I also had a couple of very embarrassing email IDs. I'll tell you one, okay? When I was in high school, my ID was Precious Forever.
Oh my God.
Like a stripper name, Precious Forever.
Well, you know what? I can't remember the stupid names that I would have used back in India. I honestly can't, but I bet you I had some weird name.
I bet you didn't have a stripper name like mine. What the hell was I thinking?
Forever.
So from bingo, we go to rapid fire. You know what? I love how they have like that inbuilt audience going on now that is now voting to see who wins. But I also feel like, it was like 90% girls. Obviously, they're going to pick Ranveer to win and not Alia. But I do think that Ranveer did better at the game overall. But still, there was a bias there. And I love how he said, y'all open more buttons if you like it, just make me win.
He mentioned during the rapid fire round, which was comparing comparing Deepika Padukone and Alia Bhatt. It was such an amazing answer.
Yeah.
You can tell that he's not a funny guy. He knows what he's talking about. He knows what the person is, and he just gives that answers with so much maturity.
I really liked it. Yeah, and I also liked how he said that he has shopped at the women's section. He has gotten women's clothing. So I wanted to know what in the women's section he actually got. We never got into that much detail, but I really like that. Yeah,
you should know. There's one of the skirt pictures that the paparazzi. Probably that. Like, I can't imagine.
Yes. But I like because he was, honest. And I love that he said that Urfi Javed is a fashion icon. I love it. I was like, what shade is going on here? I just love it.
I think she's probably going to be happy that she's being noticed by Ranveer Singh.
Urfi Javed was mentioned in the Koffee With Karan.
You never know she's coming on season 8.
Episode 1 by the Ranveer Singh.
Like, I know. She was mentioned by one and only. She was recognized by one and only Ranveer Singh.
Yeah. What more do you need in life?
Exactly. And then the fact that Karan Johar even knew her, that means they're keeping tabs on her on what she's wearing, and she's probably really happy about that.
Yes. In Alia's rapid fire round, I love how she chose Varun Dhawan as having more chemistry instead of Ranveer, because while they were in Gully Boy together, yes, they acted so well with each other, but chemistry is Varun and Alia. They have done so much work together. I love their cute chemistry they have. I'm really glad that she picked Varun. There was a question about could you stay friends with your partner's ex, or no, could you stay friends with your ex? And she goes, I can do a step better. I'm friends with my partner's exes, and I feel like, damn girl, that was an amazing thing, because like we said, that requires a lot of like strength and confidence from within. And then I love that Ibrahim Ali Khan's name was also mentioned in this episode. I love the message that she read out for. I'm sure he's really embarrassed because that was full on like fangirling over Alia. And then Ranveer is making fun of him like, Iggy, thank you for taking your time out, and coming here. Like, that was really hilarious to me.
I should also mention that the walkout of Ranveer Singh when she mentioned Ranveer is a better dancer than
Yeah.
I bet you he was hurt because I was hurt too because I feel like, Ranveer dances way better than anyone.
Really? Well, no, for me, I feel like Ranveer is the better dancer.
No, I gotta say Ranveer.
But Ranveer is also good, but Ranveer just has his style. No, he walked out because he goes, chemistry ki baari hai, you chose Varun. Dance ki baari hai, you chose Ranveer. Main yahan faltu baitha hoon. And let me just say, I felt really relatable to Alia during this round because she said that she's obsessed with cooking videos, like the reels, the cooking. I scroll through Instagram all day looking at cooking videos. Like,
I have a question for you. Would you be interested in watching Keeping Up with Kapoors or Blown Outs with the
Butts?
Blow Out with What would you watch? Come on, tell the world, Kirti. What would you watch?
I mean, Blowout with the Butt sounds amazing because Mahesh Bhatt is really risque, but I feel like Keeping Up with the Kapoors, there's 100 of them. We would never be bored. Something is always going on. I mean, don't you want to
see just like the Kardashians?
Yes. Don't you want to sneak peek into Bebo and Steph's life? Don't you want to see what Lolo is up to? Don't you want to see what Ranveer and Alia are doing? Like, seriously, I love that. I would love that.
I'm looking at Mahesh Bhatt and his commentary. Like, did you hear what he said on her daughter's?
No, the bridesmaids.
and that was like a typical,
Mahesh Bhatt dialogue. Yes,
exactly. When he said that, I could literally imagine Mahesh Bhatt sitting like this, and he goes, "Why are these bridesmaids so awfully?" Like whatever he said, I can't even remember. But
expressions. What are those expressions? Let's get to the glam zone, and they did a lot of different things here. I like it was what the. I was about to say something else.
What the fake?
WTF? What the fake?
What the fake?
This was hilarious. Some of these movie titles were so funny. One was Riksha Wali Dilruba.
I don't know. I didn't know that these films were out there.
I have no idea either. So Riksha Wali Dilruba was the fake, and Ranveer is like, let's make this movie. You play Riksha Wali Dilruba.
That was insane. And also, the highlight of this whole section, what the fake, was when Alia did that little 30-second or 10-second of acting part where she switched into
No, you're missing it. So Karan Johar asked Ranveer for 30 seconds talk about Adi Chopra.
Oh my God.
Which he did. Then he goes to Alia and says, for 30 seconds, talk about my marriage. Right? And she starts talking, I'll be really happy and excited if you get married and blah, 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 blah. It was so funny. He was like, no, not my marriage, your marriage. And she was like, I thought you said mine. And I was like, in her very first season where she had that Indian, the president of India, like confusion.
Yeah.
Here, she messed up on my marriage. I was like, oh my God.
And the funny part? The funny part was she has her basics are still the same. She's still the same Alia Bhatt, She started off when she said, "Okay, I'm talking about my marriage. Okay, I guess your marriage." I would be really happy when it was like a 7th grade girl who kind of do a 5-minute essay.
It was so funny. And I love Ranveer Singh had this really epic dialogue. He said, because I think it was also a moving name, and he said, I've done Andheri Raat Mein Diya Haath Mein. I was like, oh my God. Deepika is like dying. She's mortified right now. It was
I would really love to see her in this season and talk all about what Ranveer has mentioned or see her reaction to it. Like
I love how he kept making fun of this whole nepo thing because he was on Alia 1 and he was like, nepo bias.
I know. And there will always be this, 30 seconds silent and they'll put the camera on Karan Johar's
Karan's face.
like,
I love, because this Nepo thing is always going to stay with him, and I just feel like he's owning it. Like, whatever, who cares?
Exactly.
And
exactly.
I'm so sick of this topic as well. I'm sure he's sick and tired of it. And I think this is why Ranveer was making so much fun of it. Like, hota hai, ho gaya, chalo, aage badho. You know what I mean? So I really love that. And my favorite part has always been when they call the celebrities, on their phones. And I love how Coffee with Karan's mascot once again was on the show. I'm talking about Arjun Kapoor.
Yep.
I love how popular he is. Everyone calls him.
Exactly. And I love their bromance. They look so cute together. And I hate the fact that they only have one movie together.
How is that possible?
I want to see them possible. Like, what is going on, people? What is going on? Like, I wish I could just make a movie, just star both of them again, and just record them for one whole day.
Let's just have a movie called Yariyan and put Ranveer and Arjun in it.
Exactly. Instead of Shah Rukh Khan and Salman Khan, we want to see Ranveer Singh.
Forget the Shah Rukh Khan and Salman Khan duo right now. We want Ranveer Singh and Arjun Kapoor duo. I would love to see Ranveer and Ranveer together. That would not happen, I don't think.
No.
But Arjun and Ranveer can still happen again. And I love that. One thing that we forgot to talk about is the coffee hamper. Like, how epic and classic was that looking? Part of me wants to know what's in every single little, gift in there. I'm like, can you please tell us? Can we get a sneak peek into it? I mean, Ranveer was like, oh, there's a lot of expensive things here. Yes, we realize they're going to be expensive things. But what are those things?
The Alia Bhatt packaging, the box that she won at the end, so gorgeous. That little lion on top with the crown. I was like, oh my God, what?
Yeah, that was awesome. I loved it. I
really wish that maybe in season 8 or 9 they can, just open up the hampers in front of all of us.
Please show us. Oh, you know how they do behind the scenes footage or something? Show us what's going into it. I would love to see it. I would love it.
Right? Exactly. Coming to the ending part, I loved the rhyme. I can't remember what he said, but Karan Johar ended the episode in such a nice way. Like both of Ranveer Singh's and Alia, both of their reactions were like, did you just actually do it? Did you just actually make that up? And it was so authentic.
No. And he said, I'm like Sara Ali Khan right now because she's known for her little shyness.
I cannot wait for Sara Ali Khan's episode. I should just tell you that just in case I'm missing that. And then you know what? The classic for me, the line of this episode, the dialogue of this episode was, "What else are we here for?"
Exactly.
Enjoy your life.
Exactly. Enjoy life. Sip on that coffee, girl.
What else are we here for?
Yes, I feel like this was a really great way to start this season. It was much awaited. I know there are a lot of naysayers of Karan Johar and Ranveer Singh and Alia Bhatt and this show. But for me, it's like a guilty pleasure. I love watching it. I watch the reruns. I just think it's a nice escape, from your life.
Yep.
And I feel like if someone is out there having fun, let them have fun. It's not supposed to be like a TED Talk where you're supposed to be serious.
Exactly.
It's a fun, frivolous show that also has some important aspects to it. Like this show covered some that we talked about. So I'm excited to see what the rest of the season has in store for us. I know you are as well. Guys, that's it for us today. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what you thought of this show. Do you agree with some of the points? Do you not agree with it? How did you like their fashion? Over the top, cool. Would you wear something like that or not? Let us know. Also, follow us on Instagram. I am Pari602. Sophia is
familygirl_Sophia.
There you have it. See you next time. Na 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 na. Bye.